Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at this emergency wall lamp from CDRKING. Now this was 300 peso and it pretty much feels like 300 peso. If you're not sure what one of these does, basically you plug it into the wall and whenever there's a power cut, which I'll simulate, the lights come on automatically, and then when power comes back on, the unit starts charging and it turns off the lights. So that's how it works. Now let's start by having a look at the specs on the box. Now the specs are a little bit misleading. Automatic light up, yes, that's true. LED, that's true. Now on the rechargeable bit here, you can see they place a sticker. If you look underneath, it says something else, but okay, it's a poorly printed sticker that says, so rechargeable nickel battery. Okay, charging time less than 24 hours. Well, yes, that's very true. And look at this sample image. I don't really know what's going on there. That's certainly not the Philippines. Indoor, outdoor, camping, hiking, blah, 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 AC powered. Now let's look on the other side. So on the other side, we can see they've also put a sticker here which covers what the battery is. And it says up here, AC 60 Hertz, rated power 3 watts, duration approximately 2 hours. So apparently when there's a power cut, this will run for up to 2 hours. And if you look on the side of the box, it says rechargeable lead acid battery. So there's some confusion there about whether it's a lead acid battery or whether it's this type of battery. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at this thing. So it does have a test button. If you hold that down, the lights come on, and you also have an option to turn it off. So if there's a power cut, it comes on, you can then turn it off if you want, and you can turn it on. So that's kind of useful. Let's open this thing up and have a look inside. I'll just show you around first. So here you've obviously got the single LED behind this lens. On the other side you've got basically some areas where you can hang it on screws. Otherwise there's not a lot going on. There's just one screw that keeps this closed, and that's up here. So I'll undo that screw. So now that screw's undone, the front basically just pops off. There you go. And you get to see the wonderful insides, which is not a lot. This can actually be removed, so we'll remove this board, just unbend these pins, and then it pulls off. There you go. So that's our front panel with the squishy things for the button, not much going on there, and that's the front. First thing you'll notice is there's certainly no lead acid battery, although they did stick over on 2 places of the box saying it's a NiCad battery instead of lead acid, but I still did think it was lead acid because that was what I read on the box first, but whatever. You can see the leads going to the LEDs obviously, and this tiny little battery. Now if these really are 3 watt LEDs, I don't see how a 1.2 volt 350 milliamp hour battery is going to light them for 2 hours. That just doesn't seem possible. So when you open an emergency light, you don't really want to see something like this. You know, it's pretty basic. To be fair, it works. You know, when the power goes out, this thing does come on. But look at how small that battery is. It's tiny. Is that removable? Or have they soldered that? No, they've soldered that in place. So you could replace it, but it wouldn't be easy. And you probably wouldn't be able to put a larger battery in because this circuitry is not going to be able to manage that. So does it work? Yes, technically it does, but I very much doubt it's going to give 2 hours worth of light. So what I'm going to do now is remove one of these screens and take a closer look at the LED inside. So I'll zoom in on this so you can have a look yourself. Oops. So you can see it looks like it's an LED strip behind there, which they've, you know, cut off from a longer strip, and it's got one resistor, one LED, pretty basic, and then a kind of reflective backing, and then this lens which projects the light in an absolutely awful way, which I'll show you in a little while. I'm going to try again at removing this reflective thing because I think it's just glued. Okay, there we go. So it's finally out. It's just a couple of screws keeping it in at the back. Okay, let's unscrew this. There we go. And I'm going to desolder one of these wires. I'll try cover the LED so you can see my multimeter. 2.67 volts. So now we know the voltage, let's measure the current. So if you see my multimeter, it's pretty low, 0.02. amp. So let's do some basic math. Let's round up the voltage, 2.7 by 0.0, let's say 25, be friendly, 0.06. So basically this little LED is 0.06 watts. So two of them together is around, what's that, 0.12. So 0.12 watts, that's pretty terrible considering you can buy something like this, which is a USB lamp from CDRKING. It says 60, but it was actually 40 peso, and that is actually half a watt. So this is 5 times brighter than this whole contraption here. Look, I'll show you the difference on camera. So this is this one. Of course the camera's going to adjust a bit, but I can't look at those without it pretty much blinding me. And then if we compare that to this one, yeah, I mean, I don't know how well the camera's going to show that, but I can look at this thing and there's no blinding at all. It doesn't really do much at all. Look, if I shine it around here, that's that one, and then if I compare it to this one over here, you can see immediately how much difference there is. So yeah, this is pretty much rubbish for the amount of light that it puts out. Now, given the fact that I've just worked out how low power these LEDs are, there is a small chance that this might actually last for 2 hours on that little battery, because they're so low wattage. Anyway, I'll put this all back together and then show you how it looks when it's in a dark room. So now it's back together and I got it turned on, and you can see this is pretty much how it projects. It really is pretty dim. It actually looks brighter on the camera than in real life. But look at the nasty kind of, like, I don't know how you describe that, but the effect is just not great. I mean, it does kind of distribute the light, but it looks really ugly. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is actually just leave this running non-stop because the battery is completely fully charged. So let's see if we can really get 2 hours out of this. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Pretty much stay away from this. If you're on a budget, you're probably better off buying something like this, which is a USB power bank. This costs 150 peso, and you just recharge it with a USB charger. And then something like this, which is a 0.8 watts, so it's still much brighter than this, 0.8 watt LED bulb USB, and just use this as your emergency light. It's brighter, and it's, it's 150 plus 45, so under 200 peso. It's probably going to last longer. It's not going to break as easily as this thing. Just use this, to be honest. Of course it doesn't come on automatically in a power outage, but yeah, it's going to be a lot more useful than this thing here. And if you've got a budget, go for something like this, which is the Next LED emergency light. This thing is really good. I've been using this for a long time. If you want to see a review of that, click here now. Thanks for watching.